ChatGPT 5 is finally here, faster, smarter, and packed with shiny new features, but I don't trust hype until I've seen it in action. So I gave it some real-world challenges, from writing content to creating images, to see where it truly shines and where it still trips over its own digital shoelaces. Most results impressed me, but one, let's just say I'm gonna stick to my own thumbnail designs for now. Hi, I'm Bogdan, and on this channel we explore AI tools, automation, and how to save time while getting more done. In today's video, we are putting ChatGPT 5 to the test. I ran some challenges, each designed to push its new abilities, and I'm going to walk you through the results step by step, exactly how I saw them on the screen. You'll see the wins, the surprises, and where it still needs work. For this first test, I wanted to see how ChatGPT 5 handles the new smart mode switching and how that plays out differently for free and plus users. In ChatGPT 4, you had to manually choose which model you wanted, like standard, turbo, or advanced reasoning. But GPT-5, it decides for you, sometimes running fast and sometimes taking its time thinking. I ran the exact same 3 prompts on a free account and then on my plus account to compare them. These are a quick simple travel prompt, a medium complexity travel itinerary, and a long detail heavy family trip plan. The goal here is to see when GPT-5 flips into deep thinking, how long it takes, and what models it's actually using behind the scenes. Here I'm logged in with a free account and I start by asking, what model are you? It replies, I'm GPT-5. Now, I'm not going to read every prompt word by word in this video, but instead I'll give you the gist of each one. If you want to read or copy them exactly, feel free to pause the video. For the first one, I ask a very simple travel question. 5-day trips within a couple of hours from Barcelona. The response is almost instant, clean, fast, and concise. Next, I'm checking the model again, it's still GPT-5, and now I'm giving it a heavier travel itinerary request with times, stops, and a packing list. This one is taking its time, just over a minute, and comes back with a well-formatted table that hits all the points. I check the model again, still GPT-5. Finally, I run a detailed family trip plan across multiple cities, including budgets, hotel suggestions, and rest breaks. This takes about a minute and 40 seconds, and the output is a large organized table. The twist? When I manually switch to think longer and ask the model what model is it now using, it says I'm GPT-5 Thinking Mini, meaning free users only get the lighter deep thinking version after their first thinking request of the day. Now let's try the same prompts using my plus account. I start fresh asking what model are you? It replies, I'm GPT-5. I run the same quick prompt as before and the results are near instant and identical to the free account. I then ask for the 3-day Barcelona to Valencia request. It takes about a minute and 13 seconds and it returns the same detailed itinerary with stops, times, and a minimal packing list. When I ask what model was used to generate the last prompt, it says GPT-5. This time I manually switch to think longer before running the 7-day family itinerary. The model identifies itself as GPT-5 Thinking, the full version, not the mini, and delivers a rich detailed table in under a minute. The key difference? On Plus, I can run multiple thinking prompts in a row and it uses full GPT-5 Thinking for those deeper answers. This test really highlighted GPT's smarter routing in action. On Free, you get one full thinking request per day before it drops to GPT-5 Thinking Mini. Still good, but not quite as capable. If you're someone who runs a lot of complex reasoning heavy prompts, the Plus plan will feel like a big quality of life upgrade. Alright, for this test, I want to see if ChatGPT 5 can actually pull the latest information, and I mean the latest. Now, this is only running on my Plus account because the free plan test was already covered in test 1. So, here's what I did. OpenAI just released GPT-5 on August 7th. I'm giving it a prompt to compare GPT-5 with GPT-4o, but the rule is it has to only use official OpenAI sources and I want clickable citations right in the answer. I'm asking ChatGPT to create a comparison table between GPT-5 and GPT-4o using only official OpenAI sources. The table should cover release dates, default availability, plan access, the presence of a thinking option, and a short note on what changed, all within clickable citations. It thinks for around 40 seconds and here's what it gives me. A clean 6-row table, GPT's 5 release date, August 7, 2025, and GPT-4o's release date, May 13, 2024. It shows me that GPT-5 is now the default for all signed-in users, whereas GPT-4 was rolled out earlier but replaced. It lists plan access, the thinking toggle for GPT-5, what changed in one line, and even links me straight to the announcement posts, all with clickable citations. Then I give it a follow-up prompt. Now summarize OpenAI's introducing ChatGPT 5 post in 3 bullets with date and a link preview. It comes back with the exact date, August 7th, a preview link to the post, and 3 short clear bullet points. One on the new unified system, one on improved accuracy and real-world performance, and one on how the different plans get access, including that Pro users get GPT-5 Pro with extended reasoning. So, the takeaway here? ChatGPT 5 can clearly grab and structure information from just a few days ago, pull it directly from official sources, and hand it to me in a clear-sighted format. GPT-4 wasn't able to do this consistently, GPT-5 nails it. Now for this test, I'm going to show you how I got a playable game from a single prompt. I tell GPT-5 to build a one-file browser game called Skyline Dodger. The idea? You fly a paper plane across a city skyline and dodge birds and balloons. I ask for a responsive canvas, difficulty to ramp every 30 seconds, score and high score, pause and retry buttons, tiny sound effects, a clean HUD, keyboard and touch controls, and to keep all CSS and JS in one single HTML file. I hit enter, and in about 9 seconds it starts spelling out the HTML, roughly 757 lines. I save it as skylinedodger.html and I open it in my browser. You'll see this start screen with the controls, keyboard and touch, plus tips for pausing and retrying. I click start and we are in. The plane glides over the skyline with a nice parallax effect. Birds and balloons spawn in with a bit of wobble and it feels alive. I can steer with the arrow keys or using the W and S key, and if I'm on my phone or trackpad I can just drag up and down, touch works too. Up top there's a tiny HUD, my current score ticking up, a persistent high score, the current level and a little timer. On the right I've got buttons for pause, resume, retry and sound on and off. You will hear subtle bleeps when I score or level up. Speaking of levels, watch this. After about 30 seconds the difficulty ramps. The world scrolls faster, obstacles spawn in a bit tighter, and the level increments automatically. It's a clean, predictable curve that keeps it fun without being chaotic. If you want to play this yourself, it's literally one step. Save the file and open it in Chrome, Edge, Firefox or Safari. Some in-app editors won't execute JavaScript, so use a real browser for the full experience. Everything self-contained, HTML, CSS and JavaScript are all in one single file, no libraries, no assets, no build step. A couple of quick notes from my run-through. For a single prompt is surprisingly complete. Overlays for start, pause and game over. Responsive canvas with device pixel ratio handling, keyboard and touch input, a sensible game loop, sounds and high score stored locally. If I were polishing, I might scale the birds and balloons up a touch for extra readability, but as a first pass, it's absolutely playable and the difficulty pacing feels fair. Bottom line, this is a great example of GPT-5 doing end-to-end creation from one prompt. I described the game I wanted, and he handed me a browser-ready file I could double-click and play. For quick prototypes, teaching moments, or lightweight web games, this is more than good enough right out of the box. Alright, for this test, I'm showing off GPT's creative writing skills. This test has 3 parts. First, turning a transcript from my previous video into a blog post. Second, shifting that same blog into 2 completely different tones. And third, drafting 2 real emails I could actually send. So I start by opening up a new chat. I'm asking GPT-5 to turn one of my video transcript into a blog post with clear headings, a short intro, bullet points, and a small FAQ, all written in a friendly, non-technical way. I hop over to YouTube, grab the transcript from my previous video, paste it into the chat, hit enter, and there it goes. GPT-5 works through it and boom, the blog post appears. Straight away, I can see it nailed the structure. It's got a clean intro, bold section headings, bullet points that makes it easy to skim, and even an FAQ at the end. For example, one heading says, "What is GPT agent mode?" And underneath it explains in plain English that it's basically GPT with the ability to take action, browse the web, fill forms, create files, run workflows. It even grouped my test results into neat sections and finishes with a final verdict paragraph. This is exactly what I asked for. Now for part B, tone shifting. I tell GPT-5, rewrite the blog in the tone of a dry comedian, lightly sarcastic, still helpful. It rewrites the whole thing, and I can't help but laugh reading the title. GPT's new agent mode, the future? Sort of. That's already cheeky. Then there's a gem that says, I spent hours putting GPT agent through real-world tests to see if it's the ultimate time saver or just a caffeinated toddler clicking buttons. It's funny, but yet still delivers the actual info. Even the verdicts have personality, like the hotel booking section ending with, not ready for adult responsibilities. Now let's use the second tone shift. Rewrite the blog so a 5-year-old could easily understand it. gentle language, simple words, and very short sentences. And whoa, it's adorable. It starts with GPT is a smart robot that talks to you. Now it has a new agent mode. This means it can do more than just chat. Everything is broken down into tiny sentences and 4-word bullet points like look things up online, write things down, fill out forms. Even the FAQ is kid-friendly. Instead of will it replace Canva or PowerPoint, it asks can it make pretty slides? It's a totally different vibe but still same core content. Now let's go for part C, email drafting. I open a fresh chat and tell GPT-5 to write a short pitch email to a tech brand for a sponsor segment in my upcoming GPT-5 video with 3 value points, 2 package options, and a friendly sign-off, all under 140 words. GPT-5 spits out a tight professional pitch. We can see that it clearly lists the packages and keeps the language sharp. Finally, I asked it for a 120-word newsletter announcing my new GPT-5 video with a hook line, 3 bullet points, and a PS for questions. The subject line is GPT-5 it's here, see what it can really do. The intro is short and on point, the bullets neatly sum up what viewers will get, and it ends with PS, got questions? Just hit reply, your question might be featured in my next video. Overall, this test showed GPT-5 isn't just good at raw content, it can match formats, shift tones on demand, and even create ready-to-send emails. The output is polished enough to use straight away with only minimal tweaks from me. This last test is about thumbnails, specifically seeing if GPT-5 can give me not just ideas, but something I would actually use on YouTube. I start by asking for a concept, not the image itself. I'm telling it to design a 16:9 YouTube thumbnail concept for my ChatGPT 5 best new features video. I ask for headline text, layout notes for left and right sides, details of the subject's pose and expression, background style, color scheme, and a few font suggestions. Basically the whole blueprint for a clickable thumbnail. GPT-5 comes back with a detailed checklist, and honestly, the concept is good. It gives me 3 headline options, a clear left-right layout, even suggests some icons for the background. It tells me exactly how the subject should be posed, what facial expressions to use, even suggests specific colors plus 3 font choices. As a concept document, I'll call this spot on. Now let's move to step 2, actually generating the thumbnail image. My prompt is short. Now generate an actual thumbnail to match the concept, keep faces natural, hands consistent, and text large for mobile. The first image comes back and it's decent. It actually uses a pose I've uploaded before, which is a nice touch, but the text is pushed too far to the left and it doesn't sit nicely in the frame. And the icons in the background, same color as the background itself, they are barely visible. Not terrible, but not something I would post as is. Next, I'm trying the same thing by using GPT-5's Create Image feature. The result, very similar. The text is now ChatGPT 5 best new features instead of best GPT-5 features, but the same text alignment issue is there, the icons are still blending into the background, and the pose hasn't changed. So my takeaway, GPT-5 can absolutely give you a strong, clear concept for a thumbnail, but when it comes to a final pixel perfect image, it's still not at the level of specialist design tools. The concept stage is where it shines, the execution still falls short. For now, I'm using GPT-5 to nail my layout, text, colors, and pose ideas, then building the actual thumbnail in other tools where I have full control. If you enjoyed this video, click over here to watch my video on ChatGPT agent mode. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.